So if you've watched my previous videos, you'll notice in the intro it says healthy habits, all that fun stuff, but it also says tech reviews, and that is what we are talking about today. I am so excited for this review because I am a tech guy. So today we're going to be talking about a new smart scale that just came out on the market. So if you are looking for a smart scale that doesn't break the bank, guys, coming in under $20, then you got to watch this video. Hi guys, my name's TJ Houston and welcome to Fit for the Road. If you're new around here, I am what some would call a fitness geek. Someone that loves fitness and wellness, and then someone who is also kind of geeky. I'm surrounded by tech right now, and a lot of the stuff that you're going to see on this channel is tech related, starting with this video. Up to this point, I've been talking about the Whole30 and Weight Watchers and the kind of the health side of this, but again, I want to balance that out with some pieces of tech because I love tech. I love data. I love the smart fitness tech and how it and it helps me achieve my goals. So today we are talking about a smart scale. So the Wyze smart scale just recently came in hit the market. I got mine about, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was super excited. I got in early. As soon as I saw they released it, I got my pre-order in, so I got mine right away. And if you haven't heard of Wyze, they've actually been disrupting the tech industry now for, I would say, a couple years. Now, I was first introduced to them on last holiday season, Black Friday. I was at Home Depot and I got their starter kit for home automation. So it had a light, it had sensors, it had like door window sensors, motion sensors, and a camera. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try and see if this is worthwhile. And I was so impressed with it that I've since added on, more light bulbs and more of their cameras because the quality is good. And I think that people see their prices and they think that it's just a Chinese knockoff. And honestly, this scale is not that at all. It's its own thing with their own app, and the quality is top notch. So Wyze used to, just do that kind of home automation where they, did cameras, sensors, stuff like that. But recently they jumped into the fitness tech sphere and they've launched 2 products. So one is a color fitness band, the Wyze band, and then also the Wyze scale that we're talking about today. And they are doing a phenomenal job. And I want to preface my review with, giving them a little bit of grace because, they're new to this industry, and what their, minimum viable product is that they've just released is really, really good. Now, there is some stuff that they can grow into and add in more features, but I am very happy with where they're at. So let's get into the smart scale. So what makes a scale smart? Well, there's a couple things in my opinion. Number one is it connects with your phone or a server for you able to keep track over time. That was one thing I remember back in the day where I would have to, hand write, and that sounds like, first world problem, he had to write his weight down. But what's nice about a smart scale is it automatically does that for you, so it keeps track of, at the bare minimum, it'll keep track of your weight by transferring that information to your smartphone or a web service. So now what I like about this smart scale is it takes it a step further, and what it does is it goes through and records other aspects of your body as well. So it does your weight, it does your body fat percentage, your heart rate, your lean body mass, your BMI, your muscle mass, your visceral fat, your basal metabolic rate, your bone mass, your metabolic age, your protein level, and your body water percentage. Wow, that's a lot of information. Now, for me, I love the more data, the better. I mean, I am a tech guy. I've been in IT for many, many years, so I love it when we have all of this data. And, one thing that I like about this scale is that it does record all this and it puts it on graphs so that way I can see, a lot of times if you're starting to, eat better and work out, you're starting to gain muscle mass and you're starting, you might not see that weight loss. So what's nice about this is you can actually see that muscle mass kind of grow, and it helps you understand kind of how your body is changing. So that's what makes a smart scale and not just a regular scale. And they've released an app that goes with it. This is a free app. That's kind of different because there's like home automation stuff kind of mixed in, and you add your scale just like you would any other smart device. But this app does sync with Apple Health. So if you are a Apple Health user and the apps that you use kind of sync with that, then you are in heaven, and this is going to be a great device for you. Now that's where some of the bad news comes in. So if you are a Google user, a Fitbit user, or a Samsung Health user, then they don't have support as of right now. Now, does that mean it's not going to work with an Android phone? Absolutely not. You're still going to have their app where it records that data over time. It's just not going to sync with those other tools. Again, give them a minute. They're new to this space. I'm sure they're going to come through for us. Also, what's really cool about this device is the fact that it'll work with multiple people. And that's one thing that, in our household, it's me and my wife, or my wife and I. So we both have to be able to use the scale and not have it triggered. Like, I don't want it to show, a 20 or 30 pound loss because my wife stepped on the scale. Like, that kind of defeats the purpose. With this, it's actually smart enough to know that a person with a different body mass, a different weight stepped on, so it's going to add it to their profile. It does heart rate tracking as well, but I haven't really figured out what that's good for. I don't really need to measure my heart rate when I'm in the bathroom in the morning, when I first wake up, or at night. So if there's something that, if that is something that you need, please let me know in the comments, because I would love to know the use case for measuring your heart rate. And maybe it's because other people don't have, smart fitness bands and, measure it other ways. But I want to know, like, is that a good feature that you are looking for in a smart scale, is to, go through and, measure your heart rate. What's great about this scale, too, you don't have to worry about recharging it. It just has a couple, I believe they were AA batteries, if I remember right, that you can just pop right in there, and it lasts a long time. We've only had it for a couple weeks, but they're promising, I think, months of use. And we weigh in every day, but it's nice to know that they're just simple batteries. I don't have to worry about, plugging it in to recharge, a lithium-ion battery. I can just use AA's. So what are the 3 things? Again, I do reviews where I share 3 on 3. 3 things I like and 3 things that need improvement. Number 1 is the price with the build quality. Guys, this is a well-built product. It doesn't feel cheap at all. Glass top. It's a nice piece where, I'm proud to have it out, in our restroom. And if somebody comes over, because it's a nice scale, it's very well built. And again, it's not just some Chinese knockoff. Guys, people look at this price and they're like, hey, can I believe it? Is this too good to be true? And I'm here to tell you the build quality is top notch. Ease of use, especially in the multi-person home that's going to be using the scale. It was super easy to set up, and I feel like I could give this to the least techie person in my life, and they would be able to set up this scale without any issue. The app takes you through step by step. It's super easy to set up. And finally, the fact that the app syncs with Apple Health right out of the gate. That tells me they are serious about this market, this fitness market, and I foresee them coming out with more and more products to help, the fitness-minded individual. Maybe it's more, GPS running bands or heart rate monitors, smart headphones, whatever that is. I can see them doubling down on this fitness niche and, just really excelling at it. Again, it doesn't work with the other health services, so Samsung Health and Google Health. But if you do have an Android phone, you can use their app and it'll just work fine. I just want to reiterate that because I think that's super important. So what are the 3 things that I don't like about this scale? Well, number 1 is you have to have your phone near you because it uses Bluetooth. So when I was traveling, I absolutely love that, because when you're in a hotel, it's really hard to connect to, devices to hotel Wi-Fi, and I would have to set up my scale, when I traveled, to the new Wi-Fi every week, or every day. I was traveling like 200 days a year, so I'd have to do this every single time I was at a hotel. With Bluetooth, it's just connecting to my phone, and then my phone is syncing with the server. So, my phone acts as the intermediary between the device and the cloud. Where the other scales that we have the Under Armour scale as well, and that goes from scale right directly to the cloud. So, is this a big deal? I don't know. I'm saying it's a con because sometimes I'll leave my phone, next to the bed, especially if I want to focus first thing in the morning and not get distracted, or my phone might not be, my phone might be dead when I want to weigh in, and I don't want to miss that. I don't want to just go in the morning out of habit, step on the scale, and remember it, but then have it not be recorded because again, I want to watch that progress over time. So, that to me is a little bit of a con. I wish we had both. Where we could, connect it to our home Wi-Fi if we wanted, or via Bluetooth. But again, for $20, I don't think beggars can be choosers. Number two is the fact that it doesn't work with those other services, Google, Fitbit, or the Samsung Health. Again, that's something that's probably coming soon, but that point alone kind of prevents me from recommending this product to a user that is just super ingrained. Like if I was still on my Android phone, recently I switched back to Apple, that would be a deal breaker for me because I use the Google Health and I use Fitbit as a long-term solution, and I allow other apps to kind of get at that data. That's the center of all of my health data. I want to make sure that, I'm having it sync. And then finally, the app doesn't do a very good job of telling me, about these different items. So, why is body fat percentage? How is body fat percentage different than BMI? And if I want, less visceral fat, what do I do? I just wish there was a level of education kind of built into their app. Now they give you a scale for, your height and weight and where it should be, but I think it's really important that they, educate users on why these things are important. Otherwise, it's just data. And if you don't have context for that data, then why are we even recording it? So that would be one thing that they could, do a little bit better with. So this scale is available for pre-order as of right now. So if you head over to the Wyze website, which is wyze.com, wyze.com, you can jump on that pre-order list. Also, if you're looking for a fitness tracker, I did get the band. I want to say it was like $25. So I ordered them together, and I've only had the band for about a week. I don't know if I can recommend it yet. But again, if you're looking for both, it's for the price, you really can't beat it. So again, I know I didn't get into, the nitty gritty with the, stepping you through the app or stepping through like all the technology inside. I wanted a more casual view of someone that is, uses this device every single day. What are the three things I like about it? And what are the three things that I don't? But if you want me to go in depth with some of those things, please put a note in the comments below. If you have absolutely any questions, please let me know. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you have an awesome week. We'll see you.